This is Changelog 8 for Heist, the 7th in my series about what's changed and what's new in the game this week. Last week there was no video because my work on floor plan generation turned out to be quite a lot more complex than I'd initially expected. So this week I worked on something a little bit easier to make sure that definitely didn't happen twice in a row. So way back in January I designed and built a system for Heist called Electronic Infrastructure. This system simulates electronic systems in a very sort of abstract way for the game. Basically, circuitry is built out of a load of devices, and devices pass messages between each other along connectors. So for example, a timer device might pass along a boolean value indicating if the set time is completed, while a stopwatch might pass out a number indicating the amount of time elapsed since it was started. And then connectors pass along these values to other devices which can do something with them. For example, there are a lot of comparator devices, so the greater than comparator takes in a number, say from a timer, and then compares it to another number, say from a constant value, and then outputs a boolean. So in this way you can build up a whole complicated circuit of devices which can do all kinds of things. So say you could have that timer wired up to a comparator, and a constant value wired up to the comparator, and a button wired up to the timer. You press the button, the timer starts. Once the timer exceeds the comparator value, something happens, say a door opens. So this system's really powerful because you can wire things up really easily. It doesn't require you to write a load of C# scripts or anything to wire up game logic. You just literally wire up game logic, which is great. And you can also do it in-game. So a player could walk up to, say, that door panel I talked about and cut out the timer and directly wire the button into the door control mechanism, say. So over here I've got a really quick example of this setup. Unfortunately it's all invisible at the moment, I haven't added any graphics to this yet. So around this plinth is a motion detector which outputs a boolean value if any of the entities within its volume are going over a certain speed threshold, which is of course basically what a real world infrared sensor does. So the boolean value is then connected to the on-off switch of a strobe light, and you can see that as I move around this area it's pulsing red and green, and when I stop, now the light's turned off. In fact, you can see as I take individual steps, the light turns on and off and on and off. So this system basically means that it's really easy to design new systems and add them into the game without any coding. All the logic can be wired up. Again, as I've said with a lot of previous features, I could make some kind of graphical editor for this, and that would be really cool to allow players to design new alarm circuitry and drop it into the game, and then it starts getting used by the procedural generator. That's it for this week. If you'd like to keep up with the latest news on the project, you can follow me on Twitter as Martin D. Evans, you can follow my development blog as martindevans.me, or of course you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.